Hey guys, in today's lesson video, let's talk about how one of my clients gained around 30 yards with her 7-iron, which is a very big jump. And if you guys take a look at this before and after swing, the before swing, in order to get like forward shaft lean and a really good impact position, she was just driving and shoving her hands forward towards the target, which means that we might have an okay look at impact. It's better than this, but what was happening was the club face was being wide open and the club head did not accelerate towards the target. Naturally, we didn't have a good release. So I told her that her left arm in the golf club had to work like a pendulum. It had to kind of fall down. And at some point, because of the weight of the club head, it was okay for the club head to fly towards the target. And when she got that motion, what she understood was it's not her hands getting into certain positions. It's the club head that has to move forward, and it's the club head that needs to work up. She was trying to do everything with her hands. So we have to understand that the golf swing is the club head moving in a big circle and our hands moving in a small circle. That's step number one. So I told her that our lead arm in the golf club had to work like a pendulum. And if you guys haven't seen my previous lesson video on that same topic, please go watch that video first. And because today's lesson video is more like a continuation of that video, so please go watch that video first. And what I told her was, we have to learn how to accelerate our hands and decelerate our hands at impact and hit the brakes for this club head to go flying forward. Just like that pendulum. Because I told her very briefly, I know there's more aspects to the golf swing than this, but I told her short hitters, the everyday golfer who lacks club head speed and distance, they have fast club head speed from the top of their backswing to around halfway down, and from around halfway down to impact, they have fast hand speed. Golfers who hit the golf ball at far distance, it's the total opposite. They have fast hand speed from the top, and they have fast club head speed at the bottom, where it matters most towards the impact zone. So in order to get a good feel of the pendulum motion and hitting the brakes at impact, what we did was, I told her to grab a Frisbee like this. And I told her that in order to get this Frisbee to go a far distance towards the target, what she was doing was, she was just moving her hands forward. As you guys can see here, this is what she was doing in her actual golf swing. And we all know that's not a good way to throw this Frisbee at a far distance. We have to learn how to accelerate and decelerate our hands and our arms, and that's going to make us ourselves crack the whip at impact, and that's going to make this Frisbee go a far distance, as you can see here. We have to learn how to accelerate and decelerate our hands. That was the first step. So what she got out of that was she learned how to get a good feel of that Frisbee throwing motion, and she learned that we have to accelerate and decelerate our hands for this club head that's in the back of our hands to fly forward. It's not sending this club head forward, it's not pushing this club head forward, is hand speed has to be fast and it has to decelerate at impact for this club head to fly forward. It's like when we're driving a car, if we go like 100 miles per hour, very fast, and if we hit the brakes, the things in the back seat goes flying forward. That's the kind of feel that we want. So just with the Frisbee, cracking the whip motion, we have to learn how to accelerate our hands and then decelerate our hands at impact, and that's gonna make the club head go flying forward. As you can see here, it's going to make the club head go flying forward. Now from that position, a lot of golfers kind of get the idea of the pendulum motion with their arms. They understand the pendulum, how that should be the golf swing, but when they actually do it, they feel like it gets a little bit too handsy and they're too afraid that they're going to early release and get into this kind of motion at impact. And that's where the next steps come in, because the pendulum motion is just our arm motion. That's what you guys have to understand. It's just our arm motion. Now we have to talk more about our body. So what our body has to do is, while our left arm in the golf club, the pendulum is falling down, we have to shift our weight into our lead side. So we're kind of laterally moving a little bit towards the target. And if I add body rotation while I hit the brakes, now my hands are way out here. And that's how I'm going to get forward shaft lean. I don't get forward shaft lean by just shoving my hands forward. I get forward shaft lean by shifting my weight into my lead side, and while I'm hitting the brakes with my hands at impact, it's not just this. That's just an independent feel of my hands and my arms, but I'm doing that while I rotate my body towards the target, and I guarantee we will never early release or scoop back behind the golf ball, because if I shift my weight into my lead side and rotate open, I'm going to get into this really good forward shaft lean position. So what we have to understand is that top of your backswing, shift your weight into your lead side while your left arm falls down, and while you're hitting the brakes with your hands at impact and letting the club head fly forward, we have to also gradually rotate our body towards the target. So if you want to have a good feel of what your body should do, grab a little bit of a weighted object like this, like a kettlebell. Get both palms to face forward. Now from this position, if we just rock the kettlebell back and forth, back and forth. And if my objective is, I don't want you guys to throw this object towards the target, but if you wanted to throw this object towards the target, if it's a heavier object, we will never shift our weight into our lead side and just rotate open, because that's very hard. I could probably throw this kettlebell like right here. What I want you guys to feel is, once we shift our weight into our lead side, in order to open up, I want you guys to kick back and away from the target this way, and that will send this heavy object towards the target. Shift and kick back. Now, if you guys do that with the golf club, even with your body movement, it should feel like the club head is finding a way to accelerate towards the target. If I just rotate my body like this, the club head will not fly towards the target, but if I shift my weight into my lead side, and then if I kick back and away, the club head will go flying towards the target. And of course, if I do that with the brakes of my hands, that'll also really help my club head speed up. So it's gonna look something like this. If I put it all together, it's gonna look something like this. And when we go to the top of your backswing and when the pendulum falls down, that's when I shift my weight forward. And when I hit the brakes and decel with my hands, that's when I'm going to kick back and away and open up my body towards the target. So if you guys like the lesson video, please like and subscribe to help my channel grow. And for in-person or online lessons, I'll leave all the information in the description below. Thanks, guys.